You say that entrepreneurship is a liberal art of its own in the book. Can you expand on that? Why you think it's so important?
Yeah, just last night I was recording a tribute to my favorite history professor who recently retired. And I quoted from the book. Is it okay if I quote from the book
Of course.
to tell you a little bit of the point of view?
Sure.
The point at which in the book I described this sequence was when I was asked to teach at Brown, kind of out of the blue. And I was a little stumped at first about how do you teach entrepreneurship in a liberal arts environment? And I say, it was then that something important dawned on me. The point of a liberal arts curriculum, as the former president of Harvard, Derek Bach, had put it, was to create a web of knowledge that will illumine problems and enlighten judgment on innumerable occasions in later life. It was about critical thinking and problem solving skills unrelated to a specific body of knowledge. And so that's the way I began to think about teaching entrepreneurship at Brown. It wasn't a trade or a pre-professional pursuit. It was a skill set that you could then apply to anything you would do later in life. The way I define entrepreneurship, and we can get more into this if you'd like, is a structured process for solving problems. And that meant that it would appeal to anybody on Brown's campus, no matter their background, where they came from, their interests, what they were studying, where they intended to go after Brown. And that worked really well because having taught these courses at Brown that is now codified in the book, I know, because I'm in touch with many, many, many of my former students who are off doing all sorts of things, that they eventually realized that this see-solve-scale method is something they could use to solve problems of all kinds. I have students who are in public health or the law or big companies or the military or the arts, or they're physicians, or they're working in, kind of tech startups or nonprofits, social ventures. Almost anything they do, they come back to me and they say, that process that you taught us, the see-solve-scale method, is something that I'm using in all those places to identify consequential problems, to solve them on a small scale, and then to figure out how to scale them over the long term so that they have big, meaningful impact. And so, I've seen this in practice from my students through the years. And in that respect, it's something that any student, and now anybody, can learn, can master, and can apply. And that's why I think of it not only influenced by liberal arts and all the kind of standard ways liberal arts would influence any pursuit, but it itself is a liberal art because you can learn it and then pursue all sorts of paths where you might apply it.